Alright, so back to the generator. We're getting ready for a big camping trip, and as I mentioned the last time, I needed to get an easy start. So now I'll be able to run the air conditioner without having to babysit it. So let's see what we got inside. So I ordered the little, it was 10 bucks extra for the EasyStart installation kit because I didn't feel like going shopping for extra parts. I probably didn't have to, but it has a jumper wire here, some wire ties, and some of the stuff I had, but again, I didn't feel like having to inventory it and see what I needed to get. So probably not necessary, but I just want to save time. We've got also, here's the manual, which we'll review here in a second when we go to install this. It's literally one page. So hopefully it's as easy as they say. And here is the EasyStart. So this has to fit in the air conditioning unit. And this was 300 bucks. And I really hope this works. Because if not, I've got so far $633 into this thing, plus shipping between the generator and this. So I really hope this gets the job done. We will find out. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these screws out and take the cover off. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got so far. This is on a Geo Pro, 2019 Geo Pro Rockwood. And some of the first things I've noticed is they say you want to keep that thing in a case. If you watch their video, there's nowhere to put that in the case. I do think it's fairly weatherproof and fine that way, so I think it's going to end up down here under this, which I'm not going to slide it there right now, but it will have room to fit right under here. Actually, I can show you. I don't want to mess up my fins on my thing, but right down there, and then I'll use like double-sided 3M tape to hold it in place. So that's where I'm thinking that will go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off some of the screws here, and let's just see what it looks like. Keep in mind you want to have your camper disconnected from any external power. Alright, so this worked well. Just get those all off. It was long enough to get in there in good reach, and so now we just pull this up. So then I cut these little ties that were holding everything in place here so I could move the fan out of the way, and now this cover should come off. And again, reminder, make sure you're disconnected from power. Once you get this cover off, we do have a wiring diagram, and it does make things look a little easier to see where everything goes. Do definitely buy the installation kit. The reason why is while these ends and stuff definitely aren't worth 10 bucks, it will just help you not have to run around and hunt for them. And also, if you watch their instructional videos, they're going to tell you which ends to use on what, which will help save you times in installing this. Alright, so based on their instructions, we just followed it through. We went ahead and hooked the white to a yellow female, the orange to a blue female. So you connect the yellow butt splice to the end of the brown wire, and then you have this end open. On the AC unit here in the Geo Pro, it does have a jumper block where the purple and black connect. We can actually just put one of these ends on and plug it right into the block. I'll show you what I mean. So this is what I'm referring to right here. This goes to a condenser pump, and we don't have a condenser pump. So we're going to plug our black wire from our EasyStart right into there, and that will take care of the black and purple. Now we have two blacks coming off our purple because one is for the fan on this unit, which is over here. So that'll take care of that. Now we have the red that goes into this relay right here. So this goes to the start capacitor, and we're going to unplug that. And be careful, you don't want to touch these wires. You just don't want to risk it. So let's get this out of the way. And then the next wire we want to get rid of is the yellow from the start capacitor. And that basically comes in right over here. And I'm going to figure out which one that is and disconnect it. Alright, so we can just take this yellow wire and we follow it right on through, and you'll see it comes out right there. So this is the yellow for the start capacitor. So this unit uses a PTCR, which we do not need. So we're going to head and pull this out, and we're going to go ahead and connect all these wires together So for right now, I'm going to just pull this out. So the PTCR is just a relay that kicks off when it gets to a certain temperature. As the current flows through it, it gets hot, and then when it gets hot enough, it disconnects the start capacitor from the system. So we basically unplugged it. This has already got a little fitting here, so basically you can take this now and plug it directly here. And there we go. Then we connect the orange wire to the same terminals that the red was connected to where the PTCR was. So now we've got the run capacitor, the EasyStart, and the compressor all connected to the same terminal. So again, when you look in here, you're going to see a block that has 2 blacks and a purple. You can just connect the EasyStart to the other lead. And over here, again, where the relay was located, you remove the relay, you connect the 2 red wires that were connected to the relay directly. The other area that had the start capacitor on it is removed, and then the orange from the EasyStart is connected to that section. Now we're going to take the white run winding wire from the compressor and pull that off. We're going to strip the end off this, and we are going to connect it to the brown wire right here. So as you see, we got the white from the compressor running to the brown on the EasyStart, and then we take the white from the EasyStart and connect it back to the jumper block that is where it was connected before with the yellow. Alright, so this did seem a little intimidating to me at first, but I think as long as I don't blow everything up, it actually wasn't that bad. So if you just baby step through this, you should be okay. Now, let's go ahead and put this partly back together, but not all the way, and test it and see what happens. So what I've done for now is I've just set the EasyStart in here. I've left the cover off, and I've just set the fan down back on the bolts that come up to hold it. But I haven't actually reattached everything. Let's go ahead and test this out and see what happens. First thing I'm going to do is make sure everything is off in here. And it is. Now, I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to first start by making sure I haven't broke the fan. Please turn on. We have a fan. Okay, fan works. Now I'm going to make sure the compressor's turned all off. Again, I just want to baby step this all the way through just to be sure. I'm going to just turn the fan on low. I'm going to just put it on low cool. Now, I'm going to turn the compressor on. Let's see what happens. Okay, everything is working, and it is blowing out cool air. All right, let's go to high cool. All right, I didn't burn anything up. Yay! If I can do it, anybody can. No, but seriously, you have to be very careful. You have to have some idea of what things are and how they work. You also have to be very respectful of electricity and realize if you touch these capacitors and they're not discharged, you could kill yourself. So it's not something you do with complete ignorance about. You have to be very, very careful. But it is doable. So now let's go ahead and turn this off. So according to the instructions from the EasyStart, you do want to start this with AC power, not on a generator, 5 times, turning it off, turning it back on, but you have to wait 5 minutes or so. I would say 6 just to give you enough time between each start, because it'll take 5 minutes minimum before the system will allow it to restart. So you need to shut it completely off, let it sit for 5 to 6 minutes, then turn it on, let it run for a little bit, turn it off, let it sit for 5 to 6 minutes, let it run for a bit. You get the routine. And for running it, just let it run for, once the compressor is kicked on and everything, then you can go ahead and, give it 20-30 seconds and turn it off. That should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just go up and put everything back together. They give you some two-sided tape with the kit. I'll clean the area and I'm gonna put it in the only place I can find to put the thing. They want you to put it somewhere cool, somewhere that's not gonna be exposed to weather. I don't have a lot of options, but just keep that in mind when you're looking for somewhere to put it. You wanna keep it as much out of the elements as possible. All right, now that we figure out where everything needs to go, let's get the EasyStart mounted. So using the double-sided tape that came in the kit, I put it right here. I wanted to make sure I had enough room away from this motor, and I wanted to make sure I cleared the feet from the fan, and I could see where it was. I cleaned it all off with the alcohol. This is probably the best place I can put it without obstructing too much airflow for the fan as well. So that's where I put it. All right, there it is. Got everything all back in place. Alright, so I got the generator started. And it's in eco mode, it's 7 o'clock. Let's go in here and turn on the AC unit. I'm going to start it at high cool, right off the bat. I heard the AC kick up. Compressor's running. Alright, now I'm going to turn the compressor off, but keep the fan going. Let's see what the generator does. It's not quite idle, of course, because we have the fans going, but now what I'm going to do is put the AC unit at exactly 50%, and I'm going to put the fan on low, and again, this started at 7 o'clock. Let's let this run in eco mode. The first time without the EasyStart, we had to run wide open without eco mode, and I had to start it manually by starting the fan first, waiting a few minutes, and then starting the compressor. And that seemed to most of the time allow it to start up. But again, we had to keep it always running wide open on the generator. We're running at 50% on the compressor as far as the temperature dial, and we're running low cool. I'm going to shut this thing up. We're going to let the generator go. We're going to come back and check this and see how long it can run running at 50% cycling off and on, which we couldn't do before without the EasyStart. Okay, you can hear the generator is running wide open. And I can tell that it is because when I take it off eco mode, you don't really hear a change. So it's back on eco mode. And you just heard it drop. The compressor just turned off on the AC, and it's now dropped down to a lower run speed. So let's go inside. So here we are inside, and as you can see, the TV is running, stereo is running, Alexa is running, the camera is running. I have the Wi-Fi Ranger on. I have all lights on, and I have the refrigerator on, and the gas is not turned on. I'm not able to recreate the scenario when I tested this the first day when the generator was wide open and we got 2.5 hours on it. But with the EasyStart and everything on in this trailer except running the actual microwave, and again, I'm running the refrigerator off electric right now, which it could be ran on gas. My point is, everything is on. The generator is able to cycle the air conditioning off and on with no issues at all using the EasyStart. My generator is 1800 watts continuous, 2200 watts max. We're now running with everything on. Now initially everything wasn't on. It was warmer when I first started this at 7 o'clock this evening, and I was just running the AC at about 50%. But as it got a little cooler, it wasn't cycling on so much, so I went ahead and upped the AC to wide open, and then I went ahead and turned the fan on the AC to wide open. And then, like I say, as the night went on, it's not a very scientific test, but as the night went on, I kept adding things to kind of increase that draw. Again, we're at 4 hours. It's freezing cold in this trailer right now. It's 60 degrees in this trailer at the moment. It's been running on the generator for 4 hours. Everything's been on for at least the last hour. And to give you the idea of progression is the first hour was the AC running at about 50%. The second hour was the AC running at about wide open. And then the third hour was with the AC and the lights on. And the fourth hour, as we're going into the fourth hour now, is with the AC, the lights, the TV, the outside lights, the refrigerator, everything on. So now we're going to go ahead and wait and see how much more this generator will be able to do with its whole 1.5 gallons worth of fuel. That's all that was in this generator when we started. Again, this isn't going to be a real good simulation of real life situations where it might be warmer and we just want to see how long the AC is going to run on its own. But this is still very, very encouraging. All right, the verdict is in. Again, this isn't a perfect way to see how well it does, but we went from 2.5 hours the other way to running everything as I described for 5 hours. So that's not bad. Now, ideally when you camp, you're going to try to camp where weather is working for you instead of against you. So you wouldn't go camping in July in Texas and want to go somewhere that you don't have power, because it just wouldn't make sense. But this would definitely get you through the night, even if you couldn't run the AC completely. But if you needed to leave your dogs in the camper for 2 hours, like I said, we already know that it will run full bore for 2.5 hours no matter what. So you could leave your dogs in the camper for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you would be fine. I did order me a gas cap to allow me to run it on an extended tank, but I'm not sure how that's all going to work, and I still have to figure out how to build that. Probably not something I'm going to address right now, because we will be leaving in the middle of September. We're heading north. By the time we get to South Padre, we are going to be the middle of November. So it should still be very comfortable weather, even in South Padre in the middle of November. I don't think we're going to have to worry about using the generator, but this is really encouraging for where we're at right now. We have the generator, we have our solar, we have everything we need, and we're going where climate is going to be colder than it is going to be hot. We have our propane, we got our propane heat, so we should be good.